Where we stopped in the last class?
Ma'am, survey became
Survey. Okay. So about the
and
sources, right?
survey.
Okay, very good. So you remember the portions. So the last class we discussed about the sources, right? From history, how we get the data of the last 250 years, or the British rule, how the data we get through mainly through two sources. One is about their administrative records and the second one is survey. Then you remember what do you mean by administrative records?
Yeah.
Lynette, can you say what do you mean by administrative records?
Ma'am, official records of the British administration.
Okay, that is the
Act,
official records.
I want
Then
to
act of writing.
they encouraged the art of writing. That means all the things what they did, the British, they recorded all the things, right? In the form of written documents, they recorded all the things. Okay, and where they stopped this, where they stored this?
All the documents were preserved in the record room.
Yes, they have a record room. That means all the offices, if it's a collectorate office or a tahsildar's office, and for every office, it have a record room where they kept all these records. And some other documents they kept in two other places, which are they?
Archives.
Archives and one more is there, museums. Okay, they kept the records in archives and museums. But after the invention of printing, they kept the copies of these records and kept it. That's the last topic we discussed, and we started about the second source, that is survey. So the next is conducting survey. What do you mean by survey? Have you heard about any survey? A survey means, yes, if you know, you say. And don't think that whether my answer is wrong. If it is wrong, we can correct it, okay? Have you heard about the term survey?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
What is it? Any idea? No idea. A survey, simply we can say, it means examine something and record it. Okay, and maybe it will be about the features of an area or about the people they are living there. On a particular topic, we are conducting the survey. Are you using the YouTube?
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes they will ask the rating. And the last one option will be there. Skip the survey. Have you noticed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, anybody, if you are using the YouTube, you can see that some surveys will be, before we are taking a video, it will be there and they will ask your rating. You like it, most like it, and the last one option is there, skip the survey. Have you noticed it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, those who didn't watched it, again, if you are using it, will be there. Please notice it. So surveys means we want to examine something. We want to know about something. So we will conduct a detailed examination of that and we will record it. In the time of British also, they conducted surveys. Why they did conducted surveys? Because they believed that it's very important, because they believed that a country has to be properly known before it could be effectively administrated. So why they conducted surveys? They conducted the survey because they want to know the country before they are administrating the country. They want to know about the country. Example, suppose in your class itself, we are conducting examinations, right? Yes, why we are conducting examinations?
To check the knowledge of the
Or the teacher will ask, when you are in the next year, in the 9th, maybe the teachers will ask some portions of the 8th, right? Why they are doing like that? To recheck whether you are able to know it. Or a dance class or a music class is going to start for you. Is it possible for all the students in the class to participate in the music class? Before we are selecting a choir team, what we will do, we will conduct a survey within the class, right? Then we will select from you whether you are able to do or whether you will sing well. We will select the choir team. So before conducting or before selecting a choir team, first we want to know how many of you will sing nicely. So we will conduct a survey in the class, or we will conduct a survey in the whole school to know about it. Same way, if we want to administer a country proper, we must know about the condition of the country. We must properly know the country. So the British conducted the survey. So it's an important point. The British, why the British give more importance for conducting survey? Because they believed that a country has to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. Only if know about the situation of the country, we can administer it properly. So in the early 19th century, the detailed surveys began to carried out throughout the country. In the 19th century, they conducted the detailed surveys, and they conducted the surveys to know the topography. Have you heard about topography? They conducted the surveys to know about the topography, then the quality of the soil, about the flora and fauna. What do you mean by flora and fauna?
Plants
Plants
and
and
Animals. Very good. About the flora and fauna. Then to know about the local history, to know the cropping patterns and everything, they conducted the detailed surveys, and they carried out the map for the entire country. So coming to the surveys, the British, they conducted the surveys because they believed that a country has to be properly known before it could be effectively administered. And by the early 19th century, they conducted the detailed surveys, which include the surveys related to topography, about the quality of the soil, about the different land areas, about the animals, about the plants, and everything. And also, the most important among all these survey is the census survey they conducted. They conducted the census survey, which was held after every 10 years. The census survey is conducted after every 10 years. Now also, the first official census was held in 1881. In India, the first official census was held in 1881. After independence also, after every 10 years, from 1951 onwards till 2011, we conducted the census survey. That is the population survey. The next survey is in 2021. The next year,
first survey was?
last survey was in 2011.
Ma'am, first survey.
First official census survey was conducted in 1881. Under the time of British, they conducted the first official census in 1881. But after that, after every 10 years, we conducted the census survey. Now, at the present, the last survey was conducted in 2011, and the next survey is in the next year, that is 2021. In the population survey or the census survey, it's a detailed survey. Okay, it's a detailed survey. That means it includes all the important, that means about the total population. Then it will include the literacy rate, that means the education rate. Then the life expectancy, how many years, the number of years we will live. Then about the infant mortality, the number of child died before the age of 1. The maternal mortality, the mothers who are dying. It includes so many details in the census survey. So this census survey also started in India at the time of British. Population survey, if you are checking in the Google and all, you can see that census report of 2011. It's a detailed report which include all the
Parish.
Okay, that is about the survey. So they also conducted the population survey or the census survey, which is conducted after every 10 years. It is important, okay, because census survey is conducting after every 10 years. And this census survey is a detailed record. The census survey is a detailed record of the number of people in all the provinces in India is noted there, and it also include the religion wise, caste wise and occupational wise classification. It include the not only it include the literacy rate or the life expectancy or the infant mortality rate, it also include a detailed report on the caste base or the religion base and the occupational base classification of the people. And not only the survey, so many other surveys are there like zoological survey, forestry survey, then archaeological survey, anthropological survey, etc. So different types of surveys were conducted during the time of British. Why they conducted all these surveys? Because they believed that a country has to be properly known before it should be administrated. That's why they conducted surveys. So the sources, the historians uses two sources to know about the Indian history during the time of British. One is the official records of the British administration and the second one is the surveys. Then is it clear, children? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go to the next topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That is what the official records don't tell. What are the things are not included in the official record? Before that, Lakshmi, can you read the survey become an important from the textbook in page number 6? Yes, Lakshmi CV.
Ma'am, can you say once again?
Read that portion. Surveys.
The practice of surveying also became common under the colonial administration. The British believed that a country had to be properly known before it could be effectively administrated. By the early 19th century, detailed surveys were being carried out to map the entire country. In the villages, revenue surveys were conducted. The effort was to know the topography, the soil quality, the flora, the fauna, the local histories, the cropping pattern, all the facts seen as necessary to know about to administrate the region. From the end of the 19th century, census operations were held every 10 years. These prepared detailed records of the number of people in all provinces of India, noting information on caste, religion, and occupation. There were many other surveys, botanical surveys, zoological surveys, archaeological surveys, anthropological surveys, forest surveys.
Okay. Botanical means related to plants. Zoological,
Animals.
animals. Have you heard about the subject botany and zoology?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Archaeology, I think it's familiar to you, right?
Yes.
Archaeology. Anthropology means it's related to humans and all. About the study of the human and all are coming under that. Okay. And the last topic is what the official records don't tell. See, these are the official records. Do you think that any disadvantage for these official records? Hmm? This official records, do you think that is it's a satisfactory record to know about all the aspects of a country? No. Why?
Only
Okay. Before
the
going to
people's
that,
opinions were not there.
be louder, dear.
People's opinions are not there.
People's opinions are not there. Okay. The official record means it's an official record. Have you, in the textbook, there is a question. Before going to that, I think so. Yes. See, your fourth question in the textbook. How will the information historians get from the old newspaper be different from the police reports? You saw that question? Is there any difference between a report, a police report, and a newspaper report? Do you think so? Any differences there? Nowadays, at present cases, you can take. Do you feel any differences between a newspaper report and a police report? Any differences there? Any difference you feel? Louder. If it is wrong, I told you. Don't think. Yes.
Newspaper reports are
Ah.
for known for all,
Okay.
but police reports are
It's an official record. It is only in the hands of police. Okay.
yes.
Okay, Abhiram. Any other difference between a newspaper report and a police report? Newspaper report, as he said, it is any person can read the newspaper report, but police report, it is not easy to get it. Okay, then any other difference?
Ma'am, police report is a summary. No, newspaper report is a summary, like.
See, in the newspaper report,
but,
only they will give the incident, or a detailed explanation will be there. When you are reading a newspaper, see, in the last day, one paper report is there, and it is only about the incident, or it's a detailed report. Okay, next class you find a difference. Okay, don't look anywhere. You think, is there a difference between a newspaper report and a police report? Then we can discuss it. So, coming to that, our topic, what official records don't tell. As you said, in the official record, it will not give any importance to the needs or aspiration or the wishes of the common people. The records don't tell what other people in the country felt. The record means it's an official record. It doesn't include what about the needs or the views of the rest of the population who are living in the country. But we have another sources to know about them. That is about the diaries of the people or the travelers, autobiographies of the important personalities can tell about the literate people. So in the beginning, these official records was only there, and it will not give any information about the needs of the common people. But after some times, the records, after the literacy was papers, and when the freedom movement starts, their ideas, views, and all there, which expresses their feeling. But all these sources are about the literate people. These sources are known by the literate people, and they are reading it and they are using it. But some people are there in our country, like Dalit. Have you heard about them? The tribals, the peasants, the people who are living in the streets, and also the people living, working in the mines. There is no record which tell about their lives. Even though we have a lot of records, like the pilgrimage, travelogues, then about the autobiographies, newspapers, then the different pamphlets. A lot of records are there to know about the other sources, but nowhere, no one is mentioned about them. There is only a few sources we have to know about the tribals, peasants, and the workers or the poor people. There is no record in the history to know about their living condition, how they lived in the country, what was their condition, are they satisfactory with the country, or their life is pathetic condition. We don't have any sources to know about them. So what the official record don't tell. The official record didn't told about the poor people, the peasants, the workers, or the tribals who lived in the country, and also it doesn't include what the other people of the country felt and why they are reacting against the British government. There is no such records are there. But after sometimes we have a lot of records to know about that, but in no records, nowhere is mentioned about the tribals, peasants, or the people who lived in the street or who worked in the mines. Okay? Can you read that portion, dear? What official records don't tell?
From the vast corpus of record, we can get to know a lot, but we must remember that these are official records. They tell us what the official thought, what they were interested in, and what they wish to preserve for prosperity. These records do not always help us understand what other people in the country felt and what lay behind their action. For that, we need to look elsewhere. When we begin to search for these other sources, we find them in plenty too. They are more difficult of people, accounts of pilgrims and travelers, autobiography of important personalities, and popular booklets that were sold in local bazaars.
Bazaar
As
means
print-
local bazaar means? It's Hindi term. Bazaar. Louder.
Markets.
Markets, yes. Okay, again.
As printing spread, newspapers were published and issues were debated in public. Leaders and reformers wrote to spread their ideas. Poets and novelists wrote to express their feelings. All these sources, however, were produced by those who were literate. From these, we will not be able to understand how history was experienced and lived by the tribal and the peasants, the workers in the mines, or the poor or the streets. Getting to know their lives in a more difficult task. Yet this can be done if we make a little bit of effort. When you read this book, you will see how this can be done.
Okay. Okay, that's all about the chapter. So, once again, we can go through that chapter. Okay, the chapter we started with history. History, it is a study of past events and is much more than memorizing dates. Always remember, history is not only about dates, it is also the study of past events. Or it is about the changes that occur from time to time. The history explains the changes that happened in the society from time to time. Then an example is about the caste system. It is explained in our textbook. That is, at that time, in the ancient time, the caste system was prevailed. But after independence, we tried to remove this caste barrier. Only if we know about the caste system that prevailed in that time, we came to know the value of our fundamental right, that is right to equality or the prohibition of untouchability. Some of the events in the history we can explain only over a span of time. Some of the events we can explain with a particular date, but some of the events we can explain only by using a span of time. Then, the most important topic is about categorization of or the classification of history. Who classified the Indian history? First,
James Mill.
James Mill. Yes, James Mill in his book,
History
History of
History
British India. James Mill, in his book, The History of British India, he classified Indian history into three: Hindu, Muslim, and British. And what he believed, whose rule is better for India? British rule. Why? Why he believed so? Because
because
louder, children. Yes, saying the
because
answer louder.
Indians believe in caste system.
Yes, Indian
Multiple
because
religions,
before the advent of British, it was an uncivilized society. The Indian society or the Asian society is an uncivilized one, and also the people strongly believed in caste system, multiple religion, and they are so superstitious. So he believed that there was the Hindus and the Muslim rulers, they spoiled the country. They exploited the India. Only the British rule could civilize the India. So only the British rule could teach them the manners, arts, and law. So what is the classification of James Mill? He classified the Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim, and British. And why he believed that the British rule was superior? Because he believed that only the British rule will teach them the manners, arts, and law. Only the British rule will civilize the India. Both the Hindus and the Muslims, they exploited the country, and also it was the time the people strongly believed in caste system, multiple religion, and superstition. So only the British rule could teach them the manners, arts, and laws. He believed that the only European society was a civilized one. Then the Indian historians classified the Indian history into three periods: ancient, medieval, and modern. But this modern period is not called as a modern period in India. Instead of that, what we called? What we call that time? Okay, leave it. What is the speciality of the modern period?
development.
Development. Economic growth was there. Then some of the values also developed at that time. Which are the values?
Science,
Development of science.
democracy,
Democracy, yes. At that time.
equality,
Very good. Democracy, equality, and all the democracy, reason, equality, and all these were well developed in the modern society. But what about India at that time? India's economic growth was less. There is no equality among the people, and there is no democracy in the country. So what we called at that time? Colonial period. Very good. We called it as a colonial
period.
All that time as the colonial period. Then what do you mean by colonial period?
When the subjugation of one country by another leads to
political,
economic, and
social,
cultural
culture changes.
So the modern period, it is related to the growth of all the forces of modernism. But in India, there is no such development happened, and we call that time as the colonial period. And what do you mean by colonial period? When the subjugation of one country by another leads to the political, economic, social, and cultural changes. That process is called as colonization. Then, yes. Then about the sources of writing history. To know about the last 250 years of the Indian history, the two major sources are there. One is the official records of the British administration, and the other is the surveys. The official records of the British administration, the people, the Britishers, they believed in the art of writing. It is crucial for them, the art of writing. So everything they recorded. Their each and every plan, policies, and agreements were written. Everything they recorded. And also for every office, they have a record room. British also kept all the documents preserved in the record room, which was attached to the administrative institutions. That means to the Tahsildar's office or to the collectorate or to the commissioner's office, wherever it is, even to the court. That day we discussed about the issue happened in the secretariat. You remember that in the last class? Yes, that means every office they have a record room and all of these records were kept there. Now digitalization is also there. The records will be in the digital format also now we are preserving. But after the invention of, that time who wrote these records? By the
Calligraphies.
calligraphers. Because that time, before the invention of printing, they write it. And after the invention of printing, they took 2 or 3 copies and they kept it. And it is kept in 2 places. One is the archive
Archives.
and the other is in the museum. Then the next is about the surveys. Why they conducted the surveys? Because they believed that
The country has to
should
be
be properly known before it
before it could be
administrated.
effectively
A country should be properly known before it could be effectively administrated. So they conducted the surveys, and one of the most important survey was the census survey, which is conducted after every 10 years.
10 years.
Then the official records don't tell. So the official record means it's an official record. It doesn't include any other matters related to the country or any other wishes of the people who are living in the country. So, but we have other sources like the diaries of the people or autobiographies or the newspapers or the pamphlets, the booklets, and all the things are there to know about the others. But some of the people, there is no record in the histories available about some of the people. And who are they? The tribals,
Tribals,
peasants, workers, or the workers, the people who are working in the mines, or the people who are living in the street. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any portion, any doubt? Anyone? This chapter, any portion? So for the next class, do one thing, study this chapter and come. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Next class, I will ask you questions. And after that only, I will send you the question answers. You must read the textbook proper and study the topic and come. Okay, don't depend on, I will ask you questions. And after that only, I will send the question answers. Question answers I will send you, but after Monday. Okay? So study the chapter well and come on Monday. Then any doubt is there, in between you can contact me, okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
I hope this chapter is clear to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Once again you read it, and if again any doubt is there, contact me. Feel free, okay? Monday
ma'am.
study this
Okay,
chapter.
ma'am.
In between any doubt you can contact me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, then bye all.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, ma'am.